Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we're making this adorable little angel treat box. You heard me right. This guy opens right here. You just undo the little bow, and it opens up, and you can put a treat inside, and then you can tie it back for your little angel treat box. How cute is that? Let's get started. So to make this sweet little angel, here's what you need. You need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 2 inches by 8 inches. You need 2 2-inch scallop circles, 2 ovals. I'm using the oval set from Doris that has 5 different ones in. I'll show you which one it is. It's the nested ovals, and it's actually just called nesting ovals. And I'm using 2 of them. I'm using the smallest and then the second to the largest, surprisingly. So I've got 2 small ones and then 2 larger ones. Now here's the thing. I'm using 2 small ones because I need to make my paper double-sided. You'll see that in a minute. But if you're using double-sided paper, you only need 1 of the small ovals. You'll still need 2 of these. Okay, so let's put this guy together. Now, it's super easy to do, but I have to tell you, I 100% got my inspiration from Sam at poodles.co.uk. That's her website, and I think it's Poodles on YouTube. I'm going to link her video below. That's where I got my inspiration from. She made a little box, and I went, that's what I'm looking for. I can turn that into an angel. So I'm going to put her link below. So here's the deal. We're going to use these 2 pieces, and what we need to do first is score them. Now, our pieces are exactly the same. We're just going to score them differently from each other, okay? The first thing we're going to do is the base of our little angel, and that actually needs to be the same on both. So we're going to put our paper in the long way here, and we're going to score it at 3 inches and at 5 inches, all right? We're going to do that on both, 3 inches and 5 inches. Now, either one of them can be your starting point. I'm just going to grab this one right here and let it be my starting point. What I need to do now is I need to make a mark, either score mark or pen mark or pencil mark, whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to get a pencil so I can do it where you guys can see it on camera. And at the top of my little piece, I need to make a mark at the 1-inch spot. See where I made that? So 1 inch there. I need to turn this in my scoreboard and get the 1-inch mark on the other side as well. Now you're going to recognize this box that we're going to make, or this portion of it, because Polly Weinman sent me some boxes last year that we did. I'll actually link those below for you too, because I'm pretty sure they were Christmas that we did, and it starts out very much like this. So there's that mark. I'm going to put it aside for a minute. We'll go to the second piece. This piece, we're going to make the marks a little different. Instead of the middle, we want to make a mark at 1/2 inch and at 1.5 inches, okay? So basically, we're making marks 1/2 inch in on either side. Did you see me get that pencil mark on there? Yuck. Okay, so we're making a mark 1/2 inch in on either side. So I'm going to turn it and do the same thing. So I'm going to mark it at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to mark it at 1.5 inches. All right, those are the marks I need to make. This one with the double marks, I can put aside. Don't need it right now. This one, I need to do something with. We're going to score this one, okay? I am going to score from that center mark to my first score mark on my little, on the body of the angel here, okay? So from this center mark we made to our first score line. Notice I put a black line down my scoreboards. I always do this with a permanent marker because this way I can isolate one line and make sure I'm using the same one top and bottom. So I'm just going to line this up. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, or if you don't want to do it this way, you can totally do this on your cutting board. Just use the little cut line in your little trimmer and it'll work the same. All right, so there's one side. I'm going to go ahead and get the other side, doing the same thing. Middle mark, first score line, and then score that. Now I want my score lines to all be in the same way, so I want to score from the top of the paper under. So what I'm going to do is flip this around and repeat those steps instead of flipping my paper over. Because if I flip my paper over, then my score marks go in 2 different directions. I'll have a mountain on one side and a valley on the other, and I just want them to be consistent. And I normally would score the wrong side of the paper because I like to score with the mountain out because I think I get a better fold that way. And so if that's the case, just flip your paper around. But I'm doing it so you can kind of keep up with what the project's going to look like when we finish. So I'm just scoring the top of the page. And in all honesty, it doesn't matter. There are no scoreline police out there. So we're good. All right, so here's how we've scored it. Can you see those scores on the side? And then our 2 in the middle. Can't really see those, but they're right there. Okay, we'll crease those in a minute. All right, now we can work on this guy. Let's get rid of our scoreboard. Bring over our trimmer. And now from those pencil marks we made to that first score line, we're going to slice that off. Now here's the tip, okay? Do not try to do this like this and then take your blade underneath it and slice up into that. If you do, you're going to buckle this area, okay? Instead, take your blade and set it into the paper anywhere as long as it's into your cardstock. Then go in 2 directions, up and down or down and up, either way, and that way you get a clean cut. But if you try to cut this sharp little point right here, you will buckle it if you're not careful. All right, let's do the bottom one. So my pencil mark here, score mark there, set my blade up and down, and I get a nice cut. All right, same thing on here, pencil mark, first score line, set my blade, up and down. Down and up and down, doesn't matter here, okay? All right, and then our last one, can't see my score line there. I'm going to fold it. If you have the same problem, just go ahead and fold them so you can see them. I just usually score at after I get this part done, but I couldn't see it. All right, set and cut. Good deal. Now we're ready to assemble this little girl. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, just because I don't need them, I'm going to erase these pencil marks because now we're done with them. You can do the same if you use a pencil, but you can always just make those marks with your scoring tool and just leave kind of an indentation, but I was having trouble seeing it. All right, so let's fold and score. So get my bone folder out. So I'm going to fold this guy down and crease this. I say fold and score, fold and burnish, fold and crease. Crease that one. This is actually the outside of our little angel. That's like her little dress. And then this is going to be the side of her little dress. So I'm going to erase these pencil marks I put up here also. All right. And then we're going to fold and crease. Let's fold the middle first. So fold those center lines in. And fold this one in. All right. Now we're going to fold these sides in. These little angle points we did, these are going to fold in like this, but what I want to do is I want to kind of be careful at the edges and work that down so I can get a nice fold down here. Sometimes when you're working with such a small little place, you can kind of lose the crispness there. So that's what I'm kind of using my hand to just kind of slowly work that into place before I just lay it down and crease it. Because that way it helps me get a much crisper little angle fold. All right, so that should look like that. Let's do the other side. If you remember those boxes, you're certainly remembering them now because this is where we started, except the only difference was we didn't have this base at the bottom of those boxes. So you'll remember that if you were with me when I did those. Right? Just like that. Now then, we're going to glue these guys together. Now, if you watch Poodle's video that I'm linking below, you'll see why she did 2 pieces because you're thinking, but Maymay, you could have done this in 1 piece and just cut it in this shape and then done the scoring and cutting. Yes, but like she said, then we waste these little pieces or we have to use a bigger piece of paper. This way I'm just using 2 by 8 inch strips and we're not wasting any paper. It's actually brilliant. All right, the next thing we want to do is we want to glue this guy into this guy right there at the base. So I'm just going to use some art glitter glue, just like so. And glue that down. Just making sure that my sides will close. If it's tight, just make sure everything will close up a little bit. Make sure those little pieces will come in like that, and they will, okay? But if it's tight, you might have to work your paper a little bit. Remember, you can retrain paper. It's not a big deal. And then these sides now come in, and then these lay over to make our little angel body, okay? Now what we want to do is go to those 2-inch scallop circles that we made. Now you could use something else. You don't necessarily have to have the 2-inch scallop circles. I just think they work really well and they look cute on the little angel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these here and I'm going to use 3 of the scallops to help me line it up. So I'm going to run glue across the top, okay? And I'm using 3 of the scallops along the bottom and I'm lining them up on that little piece so that they're kind of seamless. I'm just kind of letting those be my guide there, okay? So you see how I did the little scallop, 3 of them lined that up. I'm going to do the same on the other side, but I want to make sure I get them pretty even. So I'm going to hold it together like this to glue this other one on. That way I get a fairly even little angel head, but it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you do this, hold it like this, and then take your little one and just line your scallops up, you'll be really close. Ooh, I almost messed up. I need to line them up with my musical notes too. Now, notice we are not gluing this together. I want this to stay open because I want you to be able to put a treat inside so she becomes a gift as well. Now, when we close this up, I'm going to close it up with a ribbon. I'm just going to tie a ribbon here around her little neck and a bow in the front. That's going to be what closes her. And then we're going to put wings on her back. So let's do her wings. They are so easy. So easy. That's what you're going to use these ovals for, okay? So we've got 2 ovals. And what you need to do is you need to kind of, you know how we break the fibers of the paper in the middle because we're going to be folding this, but I don't want it to crease. So you know how I do this with my bone folder? Well, I'm going to do it with my bone folder on camera, but I can't show you off camera, but what I really like to do when they're this size is take it to the edge of my table and run it with my palm like this around the edge of the table. Like I'll let you hear me do it. So I just run it on the edge of my table, and I think I get a better bend that way. Whatever you need to do to kind of break the fibers a little bit so that will bend like that. And then I'm going to use my tweezers for this. Going to need my tweezers again in a minute too, so I'm just going to leave them here with us. All right, I'm going to glue this guy together. This is very much like another project I have coming up on Saturday. You'll see me use ovals again for something super cool. All right, and then I just take my tweezers and do that and let them sit there. All right, I'm going to prep this one on the side of the table again, and I'm just kind of rolling it. And see how I'm getting that little bend, and I'm not getting a crease. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's do this one. You can use any adhesive here. You could use your sticky tape, any adhesive. I just like to use Mark Glitter Glue. I think it works well. Take that one off, put this one on. All right, and now just decide which is your front and your back of your angel. I'm going to let this be the back, so I'm going to glue the wings on there. But when I put the wings on, I think it works better if you go ahead and close it up before you put your wings on. So let's put some twine on there and close her up. I'm just going to use some Lawn Fawn twine. This one is called Gold Sparkle Hemp, and I think it's cute for this. I take these off of here. I don't like to leave them on the little backers. I think they work better off, so peel that off. I'm just going to cut myself a strip of it. It's too much. I always cut too much baker's twine. That's the story of my life. And then you're just going to take your baker's twine and just bring this guy together. I say guy. I should be saying girl this time, right? So here we go. So do this. Tuck this down in there. And here's where I'm going to use my tweezers again. So I'm going to close this up like this. Get that where I can hold it. Then I'm going to take my tweezers and put them in here to hold it for me. Matter of fact, I think I'll come from underneath so it won't weight it down too much. So with my tweezers holding it, I can now tie a bow and not lose my tension around the neck. Right. I can get my bow like I want it. Something like that. And I can pull my tweezers out. Do that final little tug there. There we go. And then trim these excess pieces, which I kind of like them a little long. I think they're cute like that. There we go. All right, now let's put our wings on. Now for the wings, there is a little bit of a tip, okay, but I'm going to show you. If you try to put your wings on straight like this, it kind of looks a little boxy. But if you'll angle your wings a little bit, it really opens the top out. See what I mean? If you put them on like this, it's a little boxy, but if you angle it this way, it really opens that little top out and really makes this feel more like a wing. But all you have to do is put your wings on, little glue on the back of her little body. And what I love is by using these ovals like this, and see how I'm going to angle it, okay? By using these little ovals, it's clean back here too. It doesn't look bad. It looks like her little wings are going right into her little body and they're supposed to be there. We don't have to cover anything up. Now I'm going to hold this for a second. This is glitter paper, so I'm going to hold it for a second to get that to adhere. Plus the oval's kind of putting a little tension on where I've got it, so I don't want it to pop off. Then you're just going to match that wing on the other side. Just kind of lay it in there, match them up, let it dry. So there's her little wings. Aren't they adorable? And see how they look all clean because of those ovals? We don't have to put anything over them. They look perfect. All right, the last thing she needs is a halo. Now again, if you're using double-sided paper, you don't have to do this, but because mine is single-sided glitter paper, by the way, this is the glitter paper that that Christopher Brutus Monroe did for me. I'm in love. This is the Christmas pack. I'll be sure to do a blog post and link all the supplies for you in case you're interested. So I glued those together just to give myself a double-sided glitter halo. Then what I'm going to do, I want this guy to open, okay? When I originally played with it, I thought about doing like an actual open oval and laying it over the top of her little head, but that's not going to work because I want it to open. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to glue this little oval to the back scallop, and it's going to look just fine. You'll know what it is. It's going to look like a halo. So a little glue, glue that to the back. Look how cute she is. Oh, she's adorable. Now, I said this could also be an ornament. In my calendar, I put treat box slash ornament because this could totally be an ornament. All you need to do is have a string that hangs up, and this guy could hang on your tree. I say this guy, this little girl could hang on your tree, and it could be an ornament as well as a treat box. I just love it. I think it is so cute. How cute would this be at a Christmas party or at the table, sitting off to the side, even with like a little nameplate on it? These could be place card holders. So cute. So, big thanks to Sam from poodles.co.uk for teaching me how to make this portion of the box. I did change it a little bit. When you watch her video, you'll see I did this a tiny bit different where instead of going inside, I came outside, but that's how I needed it for my box and it worked. So there you go, guys. I think it's adorable. I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you make one of these, I want to see it. Be sure to head over to our customer gallery at maymaymadeit.com and share your creations with us so we can see it. And if you need inspiration, check it out. The customer gallery has thousands of projects on it, so you can see lots of things our customers have made. And don't forget about our social medias. We have Facebook, we have Maymay Made It, and So Did I as our group there. We also have all of our Instagram. You can follow us over there. Lots of places to catch up with us. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much and have a great day.